As tensions brew beneath the glittering surface of refinement and sophistication, the air crackles with unspoken rivalry. An elegant confrontation unfolds, drawing intrigue from the crowd, each moment hanging on the edge of a knife. Will the truth of authenticity pierce through the thick cloak of disdain that shrouds their world? The Liberty Society Gala unfolded under a chandeliered ceiling that dripped with crystals, casting a twinkling light over the velvet-clad crowd. The grand ballroom echoed with laughter and the clinking of champagne flutes, a festive yet competitive atmosphere alive with the chatter of the city's most influential elite. Ornate decor adorned every inch of the lavish hall, mingling scents of high-end perfumes with the rich aroma of gourmet hors d'oeuvres. Amidst this opulence, the room was charged with an undercurrent of rivalry, particularly between those standing on the fringes of social acceptance. Ivanka Trump, poised with a refined elegance that commanded attention, navigated the room with an air of resilience. As a dedicated advocate for women's empowerment, her past efforts reflected her commitment to bridging philanthropic endeavors with personal ambition. Balancing her family legacy with a desire to effect change, she presented herself as a beacon of authenticity in a world often clouded by pretense. On the other hand, Melinda Worthington, the ice queen of the fashion industry, thrived on the exclusivity that came with her status. With a penchant for biting candor masquerading as wit, she had little patience for what she deemed hollow authenticity. As the evening progressed, murmurs about Ivanka's daring outfit echoed through the glittering crowd, sowing seeds of tension that would soon erupt. The Liberty Society Gala sparkled with a wealth of opulence. Crystal chandeliers cast shimmering reflections on polished marble floors as the elite mingled beneath the grandeur of gilded arches. Exquisite floral arrangements filled the air with delicate scents, while the faint notes of a string quartet draped the atmosphere with sophistication. Laughter mingled with the clink of champagne flutes, but beneath the glittering surface, a subtle tension simmered among the guests. As the evening unfolded, the topic of Ivanka Trump's striking royal blue gown rippled through the crowd. Whispers turned into hushed murmurs, drenched in indignation. Melinda Worthington stood poised at the center of it all, her sharp eyes glinting with mischief. Seizing the microphone amidst a captivated audience, she declared, "One must wonder, in a dress so extravagant, where does authenticity truly lie?" The room fell silent, all eyes on Ivanka, whose poised expression belied the sudden tightening of her chest. Melinda's words dripped with scorn, igniting a subtle but palpable spark of conflict. Ivanka's heart raced, realizing this was no idle comment. Internalized emotions surged within her as she prepared to confront Melinda's thinly veiled attack, the stakes requiring her to demonstrate the essence of her identity. The evening's festivities suddenly felt charged, the tension palpable, and Ivanka understood the moment was hers to reclaim. As Melinda's laughter fades, a heavy silence blankets the grand ballroom. Ivanka stands at the edge of the crowd, her heart racing not from fear but from a fierce determination. The chandeliers overhead glimmer like stars, illuminating the tension brewing beneath the surface. "You think that by targeting my dress, you've exposed some deficiency in me?" she calls out, her voice rising above the murmurs. The elite audience shifts, curiosity piqued. Melinda flashes a smile, sharp and condescending. "Oh, dear Ivanka, it's not just about the dress. It's about the mask you wear, how you paraded among us while hiding behind your privilege and connections." A wave of whispers washes over the attendees. The mood hangs thick with tension and judgment. Ivanka clenches her fists, the weight of Melinda's words pricking at her, but she refuses to let anger overpower her. "Privilege? Perhaps," Ivanka replies, taking a step closer, her eyes locking onto Melinda's. "But I use it to amplify voices that are often unheard. This dress? It tells a story. Each stitch is a testament to artisans from marginalized backgrounds, striving for recognition and opportunity. It embodies their struggle and their triumph." Her voice trembles but remains steady, fierce like a flame catching on the wind. The crowd, once intoxicated by Melinda's mockery, now finds itself captivated by Ivanka's conviction. Murmurs of agreement ripple through the room. "Authenticity isn't about the label you wear. It's about the values you embody, Ivanka continues, her breath steadying as she leans into the moment. Melinda's facade cracks under the spotlight, her condescension slipping away like silk unraveling. As Ivanka speaks, she feels the room shift like tides, spectators turning from a disdainful jest to a compelling narrative, their eyes reflecting confusion, but also burgeoning respect for the woman who stands resolute against derision, ready to turn the tides in her favor. Ivanka's voice rang through the gala hall, steady but charged. But Melinda, isn't it superficiality that you should be addressing? The audience shifted, sensing the tension morphing into a spectacle that bridged both clarity and chaos. I grew up in privilege, but I've always fought to bridge gaps. Gaps between fashion and ethics, between wealth and charity. Melinda's eyes flashed with indignation. You call it bridging? It's a mere mask. She stepped forward, her grandeur seeming almost menacing as she pressed on. Your philanthropy may be well-meaning, but can you prove it's more than just a glittering accessory for your brand? Ivanka inhaled sharply, feeling the weight of the crowd's collective breath as they leaned in. I'm not just here to sell a persona built on sparkles. This dress represents the artisans, the ones who sew their stories into every stitch, their dreams entwined with our reality. Are you truly so blind to their struggles? Gasps shot through the room, the elite visibly caught between Melinda's scorn and Ivanka's raw sincerity. It was a delicate dance on a razor's edge. Murmurs of doubt fluttered through the air. They were beginning to reconsider where their loyalties lay. But Melinda wouldn't relent, fueled by insecurity. Artisans? Really, Ivanka? Have you ever stepped foot in their world? Or are you merely exploiting their narrative for your gain? With her voice raised, Ivanka responded, I've seen their passion, understood their pain, and I am committed to amplifying their voices. Can you say the same? Or do you only parade your privilege with a sneer? In that moment, the crowd felt the urgency. Whispers spread as guests exchanged glances, half expecting an answer, half yearning for diversion. What would they choose? The easy laughter at Ivanka's expense, or the challenge to rise above the surface and confront deeper truths? The tension thickened, a palpable force, unsettled yet electrifying, as eyes darted to Melinda, waiting for her next move. Would she retreat or find a way to strike back? The atmosphere in the Grand Hall of the Liberty Society Gala crackled with an intensity that made the air feel electric. Ivanka stood tall, her heart pounding not out of fear, but with an articulate need to reclaim her narrative. She locked eyes with Melinda, whose smirk faltered as Ivanka stepped forward. Melinda, Ivanka began, her voice calm yet powerful, forgive me if I don't take fashion advice from someone who doesn't understand its deeper meaning. The crowd collectively drew in a breath, shifting uneasily at the unexpected turn of events. Deep meaning, Melinda scoffed, her tone laced with condescension. You flaunt privilege as if it were a badge of honor, not realizing that true authenticity comes from struggle, not from curated photo ops. Ivanka felt the words crash against her, but instead of flinching, she stood her ground. You think my upbringing shields me from hardship? The artisans who crafted my dress are what inspire me. They pour their lives into their creations, giving voice to the voiceless. Her voice rose, echoing through the gilded hall, capturing the crowd's attention. It's not about the fabric, Melinda. It's about the stories woven into it. The tension swelled, each word thundering in the silence that followed. Maybe, Ivanka continued, softer now, it's time we look beyond mere appearance. What you perceive as authenticity is merely a facade of elitism. True beauty lies in embracing our humility and supporting those who often go unseen. For a moment, the room held its breath. Melinda's face paled as applause rippled through the audience, an affirmation of Ivanka's strength. The turning point crystallized. In that instant, the perceptions of the crowd began to shift, chaos giving way to a collective understanding. Ivanka had transformed the mockery into a movement, scripting a newfound respect for authenticity that resonated far beyond the gala's walls. In the aftermath of the gala, the reverberations of Ivanka's stand echoed throughout society. Her story of resilience and authenticity resonated across social media, igniting conversations on privilege and empowerment. Melinda's attempts to diminish Ivanka faded into obscurity, and instead, narratives of genuine human connection took center stage. Baron, filled with pride, told Ivanka, "You turned their laughter into applause," affirming that her journey was not just her own. Inspired by the evening, many began sharing their own stories of overcoming judgment, fostering empathy and understanding. Ivanka emerged from this experience transformed. She understood deeply the weight of her platform and the potential to uplift others. While she once felt the pressure to conform, she now embraced her uniqueness as a tool for change. The gala, driven by rivalry, birthed a movement that encouraged authenticity over elitism. In embracing her truth, Ivanka became a symbol of hope, showing that overcoming monsters, both personal and societal, was possible through resilience and empathy.